Hey, what is up? Profit Flywheel. I don't know if I'm live. The little thing is still spinning, so I'm just gonna talk to you as if I'm live, and that thing is still spinning. So hopefully I'm live by now. And we'll talk a little bit about this thing, this insidious thing that is it's just killing people, and it bums me out. And that is one of the cognitive distortions. We're always talking about. There's a sheet floating around with 10 cognitive distortions. But there's one that I want to talk about in general because it is absolutely catastrophic at times. Um, I'll give you an example of all or nothing thinking and why it's so dangerous. The most common example is with like a diet plan, nutrition, fitness, exercise plan, any New Year's resolution, stuff like that, where you either succeed or you don't. Right? That's the all or nothing thinking. It's either a win or a loss. It's a yes or a no, success or failure. And there's a lot of gray area in between. And it's that gray area that can save us from blowing ourselves up, getting knocked out of the game. It's also that gray area where we can learn a lot about our own behavior. So an example would be, all right, you know what? I'm going to pack all my food in Tupperware every day. I'm going to eat chicken and broccoli. And I do that for 2 or 3 days, so I'm good, right? That's the all or nothing thinking. It's either good or bad. It's not better than yesterday, which would be appropriate. It's good or bad. Um, and then what happens is we go to open our Tupperware and it falls onto the ground and it's in the dirt. And we go, well, I guess I'm off my diet. And then we just spend the rest of the day eating like a complete a-hole because we're off, right? It's not do the best you can with what you have. It's on or off. That's all or nothing thinking. And I use that example because I think it's going to resonate with a lot of people. Now, here's the danger in the context of business. It's very dangerous in all aspects of life, but in business, you're going to have people that say you need a webinar, and they're going to sell you on a webinar, right? I'm not going to here to throw stones at webinars. There's a place for those. You need a webinar. You need a web, and what happens is we develop this all or nothing mindset that I either have a webinar or nothing will work. And we sink money and time and effort into a thing that may not be appropriate for us. Same with paid ads. People will say paid ads don't work. Don't do paid ads, they don't work. All or nothing thinking again. There are absolutely scenarios where paying for advertising is the best use of time, effort, and resources. You have to run paid ads. It's another sense of all or nothing thinking. Anytime somebody says you have to do this, there's only one way to do this. If you do this, you fail. If you do this, you succeed. And people, right, where we're like trying to push harder on the gas and grow our company, but this all or nothing thinking also has our foot on the brake. We have like 10 e-brakes on because the answer is somewhere in the gray. It may not be a webinar, but it may involve paid traffic, right? That's kind of in the middle there where people don't realize there's a gray area. Say lead magnets don't work, blogs don't work, don't do that stuff. None of that is true. If it's true, if that were true, it would be true in all scenarios. And there are absolutely people that make 7 figures off their blog. So it's not a true statement. It is just an opinion of somebody. But we take it as a fact, and then we adopt an all or nothing. We take a stance, and it's either good or bad, right? Oh, you don't have a webinar? You're bad. That's not true. It's not true at all. Oh, you don't send a daily email? You're bad. That's dumb. That's not true either. Right? And so it's this all or nothing thinking that gets us locked in a mode where we waste time, effort, and energy because instead of doing different iterations, testing stuff, getting feedback, making small adjustments, what we do is we lock on to something that we have labeled good. And we don't do the things we have labeled bad when in reality, it really just depends. So think about that. It's a massive, the only way to grow your business. And the only way to grow your business is XYZ. That's all or nothing thinking. That is incorrect. It may be true in some scenarios, but it is not a true statement across the board. It may not be true for you. So you got to watch out for that all or nothing thinking. It'll send us into a doom loop also, right? Back to the nutrition. If, for example, again, all or nothing, you're either on your diet or you're off your diet. When you're on, you're doing exactly what you had prescribed to do. When you're off, you go way off the rails because you say, F it, I already had a piece of cake. I may as well have the whole entire cake and 6 beers. Right? That's all or nothing thinking. That is the side effect of trying to be too rigid with what is right and what is wrong. There is just better than yesterday. So maybe you try a webinar and you're not getting the results you want, so you tinker with something else and it gets a little bit better results than the webinar. So the feedback might suggest that this lead magnet plus some follow-up emails and maybe a series of live videos like this is more effective. That's fine. That's the gray area, right? So we gotta stop locking on to all or nothing thinking, and that is what marketers sell us, because obviously they want us to be all in on the thing that we're trying to sell you. Don't write a blog. It's stupid. All they're doing when they take this stance is they're trying to get you bought in further that their way is the only way. And that should be a red flag. If anybody ever says my way is the only way, immediate red flag. They are trying to capitalize on this bias of yours, this cognitive distortion, and the human mindset's desire to have an answer. And there are marketers that are preying on that. And the way that you recognize that is anytime somebody says, you need to have a speaker reel or you're not going to have a real business. You need to have a webinar. It is the only way. You have to do high ticket or you're an idiot. Any of those needs, haves, shoulds, musts, that's all or nothing thinking. And it should be an immediate red flag that something is off here. Something is wrong, because they're not trying to figure out what is best for me. They're trying to indoctrinate me into needing them. Big difference. Okay, so all or nothing thinking, you gotta just look out for it. Just look out for it. I just wanted to share that because we've been talking about it a lot. It's come up on a lot of live calls. A lot of people are saying, man, I should have this kind of KPIs on the front end. I should have this kind of conversion rate. I suck. I should just quit. And we can look and be like, wait a minute. Your business is super profitable. Why do you want to give up? Well, because I'm not doing it right according to what this person said. And you see people giving up on perfectly viable ideas, perfectly good businesses. You see people pivot away from things that are working to things that aren't working because they've been bought into this all or nothing thinking. So I just share that with you so you just recognize it. Anytime somebody says this is the only way, you have to do this, so on and so forth, they are either purposely or not, consciously or subconsciously, feeding on your desire to have a black and white answer. And the reality is it doesn't exist. If there was a black and white answer, we would all use it and we would all be billionaires and everything would be groovy. The truth is what is best for you is somewhere in the gray, and that's okay. Right? It's okay that it's somewhere in the gray. That's what we're striving to find. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that's helpful. You can tag somebody. If it is, you can drop me a comment. Let me know. I haven't been doing many videos lately, mostly because I finally got a haircut, so I can go live and not scare everybody away. But again, hopefully that's helpful. And if you have any questions, let me know. Tag anybody that might be victim of all or nothing thinking. And any questions you have, anything you can help with, any value you can bring, please go ahead and do so. Cool.